Hello, I'm John, and this is Kathy, and this is FSD Unsupervised doing our first FSD drive. We're going to get our car window tinting today, so let's see what happens. And away we go. I thought while we were doing this drive, we would talk about our first impressions. We just picked up our 24 Model 3 Performance Monday. Done a few full self-driving things and disengaged a couple of times. That was probably me just being overly cautious, not the car, or just it was hesitating too long, so I decided to go ahead and take over and get there a little quicker myself. But first impressions about the car, I can say that I thought that I was mesmerized when we were picking up the car. They did a light show, and during the light show with all the cars, they had Cybertrucks, they had Model X's, S's, everything was doing its light show, and I was taking a video of it, and the whole video is just me pointing at my car. So that was a bit strange, but my first impression was just I fell in love with it right away, but I fell in love with it before I even got it. I don't know, what were you thinking when you were picking up the car?
Well, the light show was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think they did a good job of that. And just sitting in it, it's pretty cool. It's just, I was skeptical of the electrics, but like you said, I think I'm turning into a Tesla girl or whatever, or fangirl or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I was showing this to friends, and they just saw the front of the car where it was parked, and they're like, "Oh man, you bought a Porsche?" I'm like, "No, I bought a Tesla," and they're like, "Oh, that looks exactly like a Porsche." And now I look at the front end of the car, and yeah, it seems a little bit Porsche-like on the front side. Back side looks a bit BMW-esque to me. The whole car is just beautiful. I mean, the paint that we got the stealth gray. It was so close to black because we always get black cars, but I wanted to get the $7,500 tax credit, so we definitely got the stealth gray, and I couldn't be happier. It's a beautiful color. I'm really happy with it. I couldn't say anything better about the outside of the car. I mean, everything is just cool as heck. I love the badge on the back. It's just amazing. It's the coolest badge they have. It even looks better than the plaid badge, as far as I'm concerned. So,
yeah.
So we're gonna talk about the interior a little bit. The first thing I was gonna say about is the steering wheel. I know it's just the round steering wheel. I don't know if you can even see it in the video, but the round steering wheel, but it's got the flat bottom to it, and it just makes it, when you're driving it yourself, you got comfortable positions there, you got comfortable positions above the T, and you got comfortable positions on top. Fits my hand well. I just love this, and the carbon fiber accent right there is just a cool little feature. I like the metal touch on the center console. It's nice, so pay attention. It's just, and the sound system, I wish I could just play it for you, because I blasted it a couple of times without Kathy in the car, and it's overpowering with the bass sometimes. It's when you get it cranked up, it really cranks up, and that bass is just amazing. The touch features on the door, soft.
Yeah, that's suede on it's nice.
Yeah, I don't know what they call that material, Alcantara maybe, or something like that.
Well, it feels like suede.
But it feels like suede, and it's.
And they put carpet in the like mat pockets and stuff instead of that cheap plasticky feel and stuff, and I think that helps with the sound absorbing because it's quieter. You don't hear as much road noise.
Yeah. definitely, you know, a premium look and feel to the car.
There's a cop. My God, slow down.
Everybody that gets into this thing just is amazed on how nice it is. I couldn't be happier. Oh, and the seats, without a doubt, the best seats I've been in. They are Recaro type
Recaro-esque,
seats.
yeah.
Yeah, but not Recaro's, because
No.
Kathy had a Camaro. It was a 22 Camaro.
It was a 21 LT1, and then had a Recaro's in there. So the bolstering isn't as aggressive, but it's still nice, and you feel snug. Very comfortable and you know.
And for me, it gives me a little bit more room. It's not as aggressive bolstering that would dig into my sides after a while on a trip.
Yeah.
We didn't have cooled seats in that. This is the best thing for me. I live in Florida. I'm hot and sweaty all the time.
My mom.
So it's just really, really nice to have this kind of seating. The cooling is just amazing, and the lumbar support. I rarely ever get lumbar support that fits me perfectly, like gives me that good feeling on a long drive. So to have this car, just when I set up the seat, now I got it on memory and everything. Every time I get in, it just puts it right there, and you can actually feel it because Kathy's got a different feel, so you can actually feel it move, and it's just so nice. I just love these seats. They're just the best seats I've ever had. So good job, Tesla. I actually don't know how to make it move them. I mean, I guess I could try to turn signal whenever it's free and see if it does it.
I was gonna say try that, but now I can't.
But I just don't know if that's gonna actually happen. But I mean, we're keeping with the flow of everybody else and us and everything. So
now that the guy we had a large gap, but the guy went there.
Yeah, and we're bunching up here, so I don't think that there's gonna be a problem.
Oh, a truck went in the other way.
Whenever we go over this bridge, there's a bridge up here.
See, now you need to try and move over.
On I-4, that is just the most dangerous area of I-4. There's, I guess, hundreds of accidents on this 1 mile of I-4 that if you take the rest of I-4 that goes across the whole state from coast to coast, it's like 10 times more accidents in this 1 mile of road than the rest of the whole road going from side to side. So it's just crazy on how that is, and Kathy can tell you the story about why that's such a dangerous area.
I guess when Florida this area became populated, I guess some of the people were dying of
some kind of flu.
I have to look it up. Let me look that up real quick before I tell you wrong information. Oh, it was cholera.
Okay.
A bunch of people were dying from cholera, and so they had a cemetery underneath I-4 is a cemetery, and when they built I-4, they were supposed to move all the graves, and somehow it fell through, and they just built it on top of them. So at least that's the saying, or what they're saying, and supposedly you can see apparitions, or people have seen apparitions, and also the large amount of accidents. So they say it's cursed. So you gotta be careful.
Exactly, and we see them all the time. We see the accidents probably weekly, if not bi-weekly. We see these accidents. So it's definitely not, something I'm making up about the accidents. I don't know if it's ghosts that's causing it, but
or just
bad juju, whatever you want to call it.
Well, I'm sure it's bad juju.
But yeah, it's nasty. So that's crazy. But kind of when I compare this to all the other vehicles that we've had, going to our last two.
Oh, it's 65 right now.
I had a 23 Acura, and Kathy had a 21 Camaro RS LT1. So we're getting out of that. Oh, see, when I took over,
It turned off.
Turned off.
Well, good to know. But yeah, you can't.
Good to know. I'll have to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
Or if I can do that.
We still should turn down. Sorry, it's your new antenna.
Yeah.
Sorry. She wants to go fast. I don't know.
Yeah, I do have it on
aggressive or whatever.
Yeah, the highest setting there, so maybe that's the reason why.
It's on assertive.
Assertive.
If you change to average, maybe if you're.
Yeah, well, I might disengage if we change it right now, so we're not going to try that. We've already disengaged once, and I don't want it to.
Okay. Anyways.
It handles that fine. But going back to our other cars, I mean, we were surprised. We never thought that we would ever buy an electric car. So once I got on the bandwagon with researching Tesla and everything like that.
And a lot of reading.
Yeah, a lot of reading, a lot of videos. Full self-driving attracted me. But the drive quality, like my Integra, it didn't drive bad. There was nothing wrong with the car. Everything was fine. It drove good. It had a little bit of power that I liked. But this is just so much smoother. It's a luxury small sedan, where I thought the Acura was supposed to be a luxury small sedan, but this really is.
Yeah.
You know,
with the leather and.
Yeah, I mean the quality of leather. They had leather seats with the inserts that were that suede material also.
Oh, I hated that.
But that suede material picked up whatever they were using for it. Every piece of lint, everything possible.
And you couldn't vacuum it. It wouldn't even come off. I tried with tape to try and get it out. You never could get it all off. It was horrible.
It would stick like Velcro. It was terrible. So it was hard to clean the interior on that car. Car was good looking. This one's way better looking. It was a hatchback. I did like the hatchback. There's lots of cargo room in this car, but having that hatch to just throw stuff into, it's a little bit easier to get everything in and out. But as far as the size of it and all that, it's pretty much the same size. Amazingly, this car is exactly the same length and exactly the same width. So, I mean, it's perfect.
So fitting in the garage.
Perfect car to
compare to.
Oh yeah, fitting in the garage. Yeah. The first thing is like our garage is not a big garage, so
it's 20 by 20, but you never know.
And we have shelving units that we put in and everything like that. So, you know, we always have to be careful about what we buy and make sure that everything's going to fit right. The Camaro's a little bit bigger. It just stayed on the other side of the garage where we had more room that we didn't have the shelving unit in front. Worked out well. But now we're down to one car. Kathy and I both work at the same place, so we drive together to work every day. If somebody by chance needs a car when somebody else is doing something, we'll figure that out, but it hasn't been a problem or anything yet. Once it becomes a problem, we'll just get something else and have two cars again. But right now, just one and not having insurance is great. So why don't you compare this to your Camaro?
Well, I love the Camaro. Camaro person all my life, so it's nice to have a new one at the time. Nice and fast, sounds good. Great body lines.
Yeah, she used to start it up in the garage just to hear the roar.
Well, I didn't drive it much, so I had to start it once a week just to charge the battery. But love it. But in that you sit really low, and so me being short, I could, my eyes were just above the dash. So this car, in comparison, has so much better viewing. You don't have the blind spots you have in the Camaro. It's obviously faster than the Camaro.
Yeah.
Though the Camaro has great exhaust noise. The LT1 engine just phenomenal. This is faster.
This is definitely faster.
But I really like this car. It's not like a muscle car, but it's more luxury. It definitely is more luxury. And once we have the tint on it, I can't wait to see how it looks. Because I think it looks so much better. Because right now it's like a fishbowl, and I don't like that.
It feels like a fishbowl.
It feels like a fishbowl.
Yeah.
So yeah, can't wait till we leave the tinting place and have it all tinted.
So comparative to all of our cars, I had this 99 Saab 9.5 that was my favorite car for a long, long time. Whenever you got into that car, you just smelled the leather. It was such a pleasant smell every time you got into that car.
It was 10 years old,
and
it still smelled like brand new.
And it still smelled like brand new. Every day you get into the car and it puts a smile on your face when you go in. Smell how clean and leathery and that it was great. But it drove wonderful. I mean, smooth as smooth can be, handled bumps well.
Yeah.
It did everything well. It was nice handling when you're pushing it through curves and things like that. It took it and it drove nice. This is a little bit better. It really is. It's a little bit better. I can't say how nice and smooth this car is. I don't know if it's lack of sound. You don't hear anything really. There's that little bit of tire noise that you get. And other than that, I don't think I hear anything. I hear the air conditioning when we're not talking or when we don't have the radio playing. I hear the air conditioning mostly. So it's just amazing how quiet the car is. It's just great. And as far as speed goes, it's obviously faster than anything that I've had before. And we've always had fast cars, Mazda RX-7s and Camaros and BMW M3, BMW 435, M Sport or something. 440,
a Z4.
A Z4. But
short and iced.
And those were great cars. I love those cars, but none of those cars after a little while brought me the kind of I'm going back to being a kid in a candy store with this car on how much I like driving this car. And not just full self-driving, how much I like being in charge and driving. And
because you don't have to use the brake pedal.
Yeah.
No, which was very weird, and I was very scared of that, by the way.
Yeah.
I had like a stomach ache. I was like, I don't know if I can do it.
Yeah, so the first day she drives it.
It took a couple stop signs, and then I was okay.
I am so scared to drive it. And then we get to the first stop sign, and she's like, oh, this is okay. And then we get to the next one, and she's like, oh, this is easy. I can do this fine. So it's not like it's difficult or anything to drive this car. It's so easy to drive.
Yeah, it was like after the first couple of stop signs that you kind of got the feel of it. I mean, sometimes it's if you have too much accelerator, you got to put the pedal on if you're going a little too fast before you come up to a stop sign. You didn't stop, soon enough. You kind of learn that. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, and actually the other thing about that one pedal driving is that I thought too it was going to be herky-jerky. And I watched a video, and this, I think he was a grandfather of a YouTuber at the time, and he goes, oh, I'm used to this. He goes, you got to drive it like an electric golf cart. So I was like, okay, so I'm going to drive it like an electric golf cart. And at first I did a couple of jerky maneuvers because I released a little bit faster than I was supposed to. But then you get used to it, and it's just like, wow, it's right. Drive it like a golf cart, and this thing works perfectly. I mean, it does everything for you after that. It just release a little bit, it slows down a little bit. Release a lot, it slows down a lot. I mean, it's just fun to drive. Yeah. Oh, and we have this curve by our work, and it's like a 35-mile-an-hour curve, and I won't tell you how fast I was going, but it actually just handles unbelievable. No slipping, no sliding, no nothing. If I was in any other car, I believe, not any other, any of the other cars that we've had, I probably would have broke tires free and that, but this car just goes. Uh, it's just a dream, just a dream. I love this thing.
What? 35? What curve were you on? An on-ramp?
No, the one right outside of work where it goes towards Cameron's apartment. Yeah. So, oh, and on my first FSD drive with one of the guys from work, we were coming back and there was an accident on the right-hand side of the road, and he also has a Tesla. In his Model Y, we went past that accident, and his Model Y just stopped and said, "Yeah, I don't know what to do," because it was right in front of the only lane you could use, and it didn't know what to do. It didn't go into the opposite side or opposite lane of traffic or anything. And then this one, when we did the same exact thing, it just went over the line just enough to get past and then went right past. So this FSD is definitely better than the last version. Hopefully he gets that this weekend.
Is that going on to Wayside?
He's on hardware 3, yeah, going on to Wayside.
Well, I think that one is maybe the street markings aren't as good, and maybe you couldn't read it. Maybe.
No, I think it was because the accident.
Oh.
Because it was blocking. I mean, it was over to the side, but there was only one lane. So it just got to that one lane, and there's only one other lane to go to, and it wouldn't just go around it. It just stopped in front of those cars and just sat there. So he disengaged and went around it himself. And then when I went past the same accident, it just went around it. Definitely a better version, but like I said, hopefully he gets his.
Yeah.
Hopefully this week.
Yeah.
He's got a lot longer drive than I do to work, so he needs it more than I do.
Oh, the car's getting wet.
Yeah. We just washed the car.
That's dirty.
Wanted to make it all nice for the tint guys. And going back to FSD, there is nothing better than this. I mean, truly, I don't really pay attention. I'm looking at cars around me. I'm making sure nobody's doing anything stupid, and I'm making sure the car's not doing anything stupid. But I'm really not stressed about me driving or anything like that. I'm just sitting here and waiting for the car to get me to my destination. It's like nothing.
And with that, we have 2 miles to go.
Yeah. So it's just an amazing system. If you haven't tried it, you gotta try it.
Oh, 2.5.
I'm definitely gonna put videos out there. If I can get other people to just experience full self-driving, it's a wonderful thing, and everybody should be doing it. It's probably the safest mode of transportation you can have right now. It's just crazy on how good this thing is. Anytime I've disengaged, it's only because I think I'm a control freak, and I wouldn't do it like that. So I think I just took over because I wouldn't do it like that. But we had a drive this morning on full self-drive, and it took me a different direction than I'm used to going.
Well, the one time you took over is because it was going a way we didn't want to go.
Yeah, so exactly. So no big deal. I mean, it's just going a different direction than I went to, and obviously this is new to me. I don't know if I can just change the route to what I want the route to be. I'll figure that out and see if that's possible. If it's not possible, it's not that it bugs me or anything like that. If it takes a wrong route or something like that, I will just get it on the right route and re-engage. It's not a big deal.
Right.
And I did want to talk about the name. FSD unsupervised is not because we are going to do stupid things and try to put a doll in the front seat and see if it'll still drive, or put it on full self-driving and then jump out of the car with some weights on the wheel so it stays, doing whatever it's doing. That's not going to happen. So if you're thinking you're going to see that on this, you're not. You're just going to see somebody paying attention and making sure that, full self-driving is doing what it's supposed to do. So please don't think about it like that. The reason why I named it that is because that's the goal. We want to have FSD unsupervised because I want my robo-taxi. Already talking about buying one, and I get a "we'll see" from Kathy. So we'll see.
Right.
I don't know if that's going to be the thing, but we like passive income, so we can get some passive income from that, and it's not too difficult to do. And if it's $25,000, like he's saying, there's probably a good chance. So we'll see what happens with that. But pay attention to FSD a little bit longer here because we're coming up on it. And
It needs to move.
yeah.
There it goes. It's like it listened to me.
It does listen. That happens on videos that I watch of other people driving it too. They say, "Oh, it needs to get over," and then it gets over. So
yeah,
it's pretty much thinking what you're thinking. It looks like we just put in the address to the tint shop.
Yeah. It's going to go down an unnamed road.
Yeah. I don't really know this area well, so I can't tell if it's doing, a good route or a bad route, but it always gets us there no matter what happens.
Yeah.
Good turn, seemed a little slow.
A little slow. It was being on the cautious side.
Yeah. It always has nice pickup after a turn now, though.
Yeah.
That's why I like the assertive thing. I think it takes off a little bit better.
So I'm surprised it's going 36 and 25.
Yeah.
Oops.
That happens a lot from what I'm watching, and that, it sees that this is wide open and nobody's around and can do a little bit more. I wonder if this is the spot.
I'd say no.
Don't say no yet.
Well,
It is not defeated.
I know.
It looks like it went into the back side of the parking lot.
This is the special entrance.
It did. It went in the back side of the parking lot.
Oh,
Wow, this is crazy.
oh boy. And now we're blocked.
And now we're blocked.
So put your stop.
Oh. But we're here.
Okay, but we're gonna have to back up.
So we're gonna back out, and you know what? I guess that's gonna be it.
Yeah.
We're gonna stop here, and thanks for watching.